welcome to Soul in Balance. My name's Alicia and I'll be bringing you the cosmic scoop on the new moon in Pisces. That'll be happening on the 7th of March at 3:03 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. So at the moment, it is so magic, it is so cosmic, and we are connecting to the universe more than ever before. The veil is so thin and all our dreams and fantasies to some degree are coming true, but at the same time, if it's not based on reality, we can be going down the track of illusions and delusions. So it really is a time of finding out the truth, revealing what is the truth to ourselves. And we could be experiencing blocks or our situations coming to a complete halt. And that is also telling us to come in and check in and ask, is it real? Is it an illusion or a delusion? You know, what we really need to be doing is just, focusing on ourselves and our spiritual journey. So at this time, it really is a time of breakthroughs and connecting to a higher source like we have never done before. So stay tuned and I'll bring you the report. So what a magical time it is to be alive and on the planet. We are super connected right now. It's absolutely amazing. And our creativity potential is through the roof. Like, I don't know what you've been experiencing, but for me personally, manifestation is absolutely lightning quick. As soon as you think about something, within a couple of seconds it's there, or you'll get synchronicities. It's just like bang, 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 bang. It is absolutely amazing right now. I don't know everybody else's experiences, but from my own clients and in my own, scope of the world, things are just coming together so quickly. We're all super connected. You could be thinking something and then the person next to you also then thinks it. It is just electric fast right now. So yes, it really is a magic time. So take advantage of, how thin the veil is right now, how connected we are to source and the universe and everyone around us. So yes, it really is a time for creativity, like epic creativity, and especially if it's in your heart's desire and it's on your path, if it's on your journey, really tap into, what you want for yourself. And don't put any limits on yourself. Like, have your limit as high as possible, because anything that you can dream right now, put it out there to the universe. Send that email, ask that person, invite these experiences, and you'll find that if it's in alignment with you, it'll happen instantly. And just keep going with the process. Even if you're experiencing halts in what you want, that is just a time to stop and reflect. And that can be really frustrating, especially, with the opposition being in Virgo, when we're really just wanting to, get everything sorted, have a plan, have a to-do list, get everything done. Like, it can be fairly difficult and we can be really hard on ourselves right now, but we really need to remember that it's just asking ourselves just to stop and reflect and see if we could do it a little bit better some way. So at this time, it's really easy to get lost in our fantasies, get lost in our daydreams. So it is a really good time to have a to-do list and just mark it off as you get it done. But also, yes, remember that if there are things you can't get done because you do need to be a little bit of a space cadet, then that is okay. Like, the only person you need to hear that from is you. There is no point going externally and saying, hey, I didn't get to do this and I didn't get to do this, but I've done this for some kind of approval. Isn't going to make you feel too good. Even if you need that validation, we need to be validating ourselves 100% right now. So yes, at this time, it really is a time for epic, epic, epic creativity. So this new moon will be at 15 degrees of Pisces, and like all new moons, it's the sun and the moon together. But magically, it is right next to the ruler of Pisces, Neptune, at 16 degrees, which is giving it that cosmic effect, that universal effect that we're all feeling right now. And one of the amazing aspects at this time is the two sextiles that are coming off this new moon, which is connecting out to, Saturn in Capricorn and then Mars in Taurus, you know, giving it that earthly feel so we can build structures and move forward in the direction that we want to go. But it has to be real. It has to be resonating with us. So if we look at Saturn in Capricorn, that is all about building structure, making it real, making a commitment. And then if we have a look at, say, Mars in Taurus, it's about plodding along, putting one foot in front of the other. You know, is it giving us pleasure to do this? And then, you know, being our own self-reliance, validating our own decisions. And it can be a little tough right now. You know, if we do look at the polarity point of this new moon, it is Virgo. So we do need to be integrating some structure, integrating service, but at the same time, we can be experiencing feelings of guilt, which is a little bit tough, you know, like, because we are, you know, experiencing a lot right now, and especially with Mercury retrograde that's joining with the new moon, and also Chiron that's at 0 degrees of Aries, we can also be experiencing some past stuff come up, some past feelings that need to really be processed right now, stuff that we need to just let go of, that are maybe still in our subconscious or we haven't properly dealt with. So it is quite normal right now to be feeling overwhelming feelings of the past, you know, stuff that we're kind of reliving that we thought that we'd kind of gotten rid of, but we haven't yet, because, you know, it really is tapping in on a universal level that's highlighting, hey, this old program's still running and you need to actually really let go of it right now. So even myself, I was thinking about something that I knew I shouldn't have, you know, how you just kind of fantasize and daydream about things. And yeah, I smashed my kneecap on the side of my bed, like really, really hard. And I couldn't, like, it hurt so bad, and it made me realize that, you know, even in myself, I had to stop my old patterning of thinking, this old patterning of fantasies and daydreams, and really be in reality. So you'll get a, you know, a really quick reality check if you're not, you know, on the right path or thinking the right things, or you've got that old program running, you know, you'll experience this, you know, like awakening, like, hey, this isn't the truth. You need to stop thinking that way or stop doing that thing. So yeah, even for me right now, I did this last night. So my right knee and my leg, I can barely move it right now. So it really is a big wake up call for me, even to be like, hey, you know, check in. That's not right. This isn't working for you. That's not in line with you. So yes, watch what you're thinking. So yeah, it really is a magical time right now. But yes, don't be so hard on yourself. There is issues around guilt and maybe the decisions you've made. Maybe you might be in a bit of victimization role. Maybe you might feel like that it's because of you, certain circumstances have happened, but this is all in the past. We need to be letting go of the past. The past no longer exists. All there is right now, and we need to be stepping into the new direction. There is a gateway right now happening that we really need to just be throwing off the old so we can step into this gateway, stepping into this change. So it is hard, you know, like we are experiencing, you know, old stuff come up and some pain come up, but it is also we just let go of that old programming now. So I'm going to read the Sabian symbol for this new moon, and oh my God, it is so inspirational and so magical and so fitting for right now. So at 16 degrees of Pisces, so we always move to the next degree. So it is, in the quiet of his study, a creative individual experiences a flow of inspiration. Keen note: reliance upon one's inner source of inspiration or guidance. So like I've said, you know, from the start of this video, it really is tapping into our creativity and being our own guide, going internally to get that validation and for guidance. So yeah, this degree really connects with this new moon, and it's something we all need to be doing. We all need to be coming into our own self-reliance, our own guidance, and trusting our intuitive beliefs and understanding, you know, trusting our psychic abilities, you know, really, you know, relying on ourselves for help, be our own expert. You know, I'm somebody who's really about self-empowerment. Like, no one knows what's best for you better than you. Like, I remember back on my early journey, I would always ask people, what do I do about this? What do I do about this? And not trusting my inner, you know, guidance. And, you know, we see it everywhere. You know, people rely too heavily on gurus or, you know, some spiritual teacher, and not relying aligning, you know, in our dynamics that will show us, you know, what direction is best for us. So yes, definitely at this time, tap into your creativity, tap into all the inspirations that are coming through right now, and trust yourself. Trust that whatever you're feeling and it's aligning with you, that is the direction you really need to be going. So I'm going to pull a card for this new moon in Pisces with the Magical Mermaids and Dolphins deck, because hey, super fitting for right now, because it's all the same themes of Pisces. So I'm going to wait till a card comes out, which hopefully one will soon. Ooh. Stay optimistic. Your dreams are coming true. Don't quit right before a miracle occurs. So I'll read what it means from the book and also give my own personal interpretation, and obviously you can have yours as well. So that's it there. This is it. Your time has come. You're about to collect your rewards and your prayers will be answered. However, a bit more patience and guided action on your part is required. The extra weight and effort are definitely worth it. You're just about there, and this card asks you to keep your faith and miracles and heavenly magic. Use your imagination to visualize your dreams. They've already come true. Your heart will swell with gratitude and joy, and these emotions will speed up your desire to manifest. Before long, you will enjoy the tangible results. So yeah, it really is a time for staying optimistic. It can feel a little tough, you know, especially, you know, with all the confusion of Pisces and then this retrograde and then all the planets in Pisces, especially if you don't have a lot of Neptunian energy in your chart or a lot of Pisces energy in your chart. You could be somebody who's quite fixed, you know, have a lot of earth elements in your chart or fire elements, and just really can't handle all the confusion and, you know, how things don't really have borders or barriers. And yes, it can be quite frustrating, but at this time, with all the halts that we're getting, with all the emotions that are coming up, just stay optimistic. I know it might feel like you're off the, you know, going down the wrong track, or, you know, it's not meant for you, but at this time, just keep believing. And, you know, if it's right, if it does align with you, it will work, and you'll get all these synchronicities that it's working, and it will be easy. Anything that isn't aligning with us right now is just painful and doesn't make sense, and that's the stuff that we know we need to let go of. But we can still stay optimistic, we can still have faith, and like the card says, you know, imagine this is happening. Even write it in a journal, like a gratitude journal, desire journal. But I found even lately with my own manifestation is to invite it in. Like, I think the old way that we've always done things with manifestation is to say, yep, I've already got this, I've got this, and I deserve this, and I want this, etc., etc. But I think, you know, Pisces is very feminine. It's very about inviting that to us. So if there's something that you want, invite it to you. You know what I mean? So if it's love, if it's a career, if it's a, you know, a journey, whatever it is, invite it to yourself. Be that beautiful feminine energy that is inviting it to us. So yes, I don't really believe that it's a time for forcing things to happen, because we are in the Pisces energy, but it's about holding space for what you want. And yes, it can manifest, but just keep that optimism going no matter what happens. You know, no matter how guilty you feel about things, or you're losing faith, whatever it is, just keep trying to bring it back to what you want, making sure it aligns with you. Alrighty, so the hot topic at this new moon is going to be Mercury retrograde in Pisces. That will be happening on the 6th of March all the way through to the 28th of March. So roughly around about 3 weeks of epic confusion. Or it could be inspiration as well, but it really is a time for rethinking, redoing, reanalyzing, anything got to do with and redoing. So it really is a time to be double checking everything, all communication, you know, even our computer systems, making sure they're backed up, double checking flights, double checking public transport, double checking we've got petrol in the car, just double checking everything. It really is going to be, a very confusing time, but also a very magical time too. I don't just want to say that it's a bad thing, because Mercury retrograde does get a bad rap, but Mercury retrograde happens for a reason. It's, just to make sure we're on the right road. And it also can be because the mind is saturated and we need to start throwing off some old beliefs or some information that we've gathered that probably isn't right or probably isn't correct. And as Mercury does rule Virgo, which is the opposite of Pisces, it really is highlighting this theme again, letting go of, that old thinking or old way of doing things that needs to go, rechecking to see if it's in line with you, because it's really important that we move forward after these 3 weeks, that our mind and our heart is working together in the right direction. So yes, this Mercury retrograde is going to be tough. Like, just make sure you realize that it's for your highest good, and just always be double checking everything. It can be a time, when relationships end. It can be a time when you quit that job, or, you end that contract, or whatever it is, because we're really going over, is it really resonating with us? Is it working? Letting go of our subconscious beliefs or our subconscious way of thinking. So yes, so the next 3 weeks, I'm not going to say, don't go outside, don't leave the house, or don't do anything, because that isn't what Mercury retrograde's about. It's just about double checking everything, rethinking about things. So yes, best of luck for Mercury retrograde. So the revolutionary and groundbreaking aspect at this new moon is Uranus, that'll be finally moving back into Taurus. And Taurus is all about I have. And Uranus is the radical breaker of chains. It is universal information. It's, revolution and changing what we know, breaking old structures, breaking out of old patterns that aren't in line with us anymore. And if we put that with what Taurus means, that's our earth, that's horticulture. It's also, our possessions and what we have to feel good and feel like that's, what our heart wants and what we need to feel self-reliant. So at this time, we're going to be experiencing like a radical revolution of what we have. So that can be our belief systems, it can be our self-reliance. So we're really going to be tested on self-reliance. So if you're relying heavily on your possessions, this might be a time where you lose those possessions just so you rely on yourself internally. So it can be, experiences that happen globally in our environments. We could, have a massive eruption, it could be a volcano, it could be, some kind of earthly dynamic that happens that make us think, hey, do we really need all these external things to feel good? And realistically, we don't. And it can be a relationship that we heavily rely on. It can be, our clothes, it could be our technology, it could be anything that we heavily rely on to feel worth something. And we're really going to be tested by losing these things, or there's some radical explosion or ending. So you have to start relying on yourself. And, you just have to look globally how many people, heavily rely on relationships. And they don't rely on themselves to feel loved and supported. They have to rely on, external partnerships or external validation to feel, good within themselves. And it really is a time for us to be coming in and having our own internal self-reliance. So, if there's things that you've been heavily relying on, it really is a time to let that stuff go. You don't want to have some radical situation occur because you're not moving into the process of relying on yourself. So yes, at this time it is fairly crazy. There's all these aspects moving. So we've had Chiron going to Aries, we've got Uranus moving into Taurus. So these are like the initial signs. So they're about the self. So we're going to be having rapid change within ourselves, how we view ourselves, what we rely on, you know, fixing our individual understanding of ourselves. And it is going to be really difficult for people in relationships. We are going to be tested in our relationships. Are we relying on ourselves, or are we relying on our partners, or, you know, our friends, or our family, or our work, whatever it is that we heavily rely on? So yes, do expect some disruptions over the next 8 years, but more specifically at the 0 degree point. Sorry, I had a coffee today, and I never have coffee. Like, I dislike it completely, but with all this Pisces stuff going on, I needed to have a coffee just to be able to focus at the moment. So yes, definitely at this time, really check in with yourself. Are you relying on yourself 100%? Nothing external from you. And Uranus is all about universal connection, universal understanding, upgrading to a higher level. And when we're at a higher level and we're relying on ourselves, we don't need all these external things. So we're going to have radical breakthroughs of, hey, I don't need that situation to feel good about myself. I don't need that relationship to feel good about myself. So we're really going to be experiencing and understanding what really works for us at such a deep level. And it is going to be something that's occurring over the next 8 years. So, you know, it's going to be a slow process because it is an outer planet. But with Uranus, it always is about striking events, like getting that radical change, because you need to break away from something old. And sometimes we do need a helping hand to break away from the old. We can stay so stuck, especially with Taurus, because Taurus is a fixed sign. We can stay stuck in, you know, our old patterning. And it depends where Taurus is in your birth chart, or maybe even where you have Venus as well, because Venus is the ruling planet of Taurus. So, you know, we can, you know, be really experiencing this radical shift. So it is important to be a little bit lucid in a way, especially with this Pisces, you know, activity and this, you know, change with Uranus moving into Taurus. You know, just be willing to change. Just let go of the old restrictions and the old patterning, and what we've always believed is what we need to be relying on ourselves or feeling good. So it really is a time to just, you know, be a little bit lucid, you know, let go of all these old structures, because if we don't let go and, you know, be willing to step into the future, we will just have some radical disaster or ending. So yes, at this time, really keep this in mind. This is what's going to be happening, and it is going to be very highlighted. So there is a lot going on at this new moon, but it's all directing us in the way of the new. We need to be heading to the new now. Like, there's no more needing to hold on to the old stuff, and it is hard. It's hard to let go of, and we're all highly triggered right now. So yes, just be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and just know that it's a time for change, and you can do it. You can let go of this old stuff, and you can come in and rely solely on yourself. We are souls. We just come down here to this dense planet, and we're conditioned so heavily that we need to rely on others. We need to rely on people loving us. We need to have all these assets to feel like we're worth something, and that is not how it is. We are souls. We have the ability to feel whole completely just within ourselves, just for being. You don't have to be anything else. It's like, you know, how we all get upset if we're not accomplishing what we want to accomplish, because then we don't feel good about ourselves, and other people won't like us, and we're not achieving things, because that's just society conditioning. That is just a conditioning that we've all had to come here and experience and break out of this. So yes, at this time, just know that this is going on. Try and be nice to yourself, and just understand anything that goes, anything that is a radical change or a disruption, just know that it's going for you and it's for your best. So yes, good luck. Alrighty, so let's wrap up the video. So this new moon in Pisces is super magical, as I've said the whole video, and you probably know by now from your own experiences of what's going on. Try to stay grounded within yourself. you know, all last year and this year, it really is a time to ground within ourselves. We've always been told to ground to the earth, ground to, you know, our environments and things like that, but it really is a time to be grounding within ourselves so we don't float off like a balloon in this Pisces energy. But it is just an epic time for manifestation. Things are coming to us quicker than ever. Like I think a couple of weeks ago I said in a couple of minutes, but now it's like within seconds. So yes, absolutely amazing. If you can get down to the beach or the ocean, to a lake, even having a bath at this time, at this new moon, it is such a great idea to connect with the water element. Definitely setting intentions for yourself, you know, writing down what you really want and believe that you will get it. And especially if it's in alignment with you. If something's not in alignment with you right now, you don't even have to try. It's in your face that it's wrong. You're experiencing pain or discomfort, or it just doesn't work. So don't worry too much if you're wanting something and you're not sure it's right for you. You'll know straight away. This is a time of really letting go, and I say this every video about letting go, but if we really want to move into the new energies and into this new gateway that is opening up for all of us to step into the new, we need to ditch the old stuff, the old structures, the old habit patterns, the old way that we understand love to be, our old jobs, our old way of thinking, you know, our old traumas, anything that's old that doesn't belong in the future with you. It's time to let it go. So yes, at this time, I really do hope that everyone has a super magical new moon in Pisces, and that everything that you desire, everything that you want to live in your highest potential, I really do hope that that comes to you. And if this video resonates with you, I invite you to subscribe to my channel so you can stay up to date with what's going on every new moon and every full moon. And also, if you think this could help someone, please share it. The more people I can connect with and, you know, help on some way, whether it's through empowerment or just what the energies are coming through for these planetary cycles, that would really make me happy, because the more people that can get on board with the energies that are going on, the better a whole world is going to be. So yes, happy new moon in Pisces and many soul journey blessings.